How did you acquire this new strength? Enlighten me!
I do a lot of push-ups and sit-ups, and I drink plenty of juice.
What is up, guys? It's your boy here, Jersey Flex, back with another awesome video. Make sure you guys go crush that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more content. I promise when you pound that red button, it'll make you 10 times more handsome. So, before we get started in this video, I just want to let you guys know I'm partnered with Vintage Muscle. Go take a look down in the description below. I left a link to all their products. They have quality pro hormones and legal anabolic agents that will allow you to build lean muscle tissue. Check them out, Vintage Muscle. Also, I am taking on clients for coaching, so please send me a message on Instagram if you guys are interested in that. Without wasting any more time, let's dive into the topic and discuss Trenbolone. Roll that freaking intro. Boom!
Maybe it's a new beginning. Maybe it's the start of where it ends. I know. There's no going back, and I'm loving the chase.
Alright, so as you guys can see by the intro of this video, I'm not a medical professional by no way, shape, or form. Am I a doctor, licensed clinical practitioner, whatever the heck may be that you might want to call me? I am just a gym bro here to teach you about juice, the sauce, getting huge, jacked, and being a sexual tyrannosaur. So, do not take any of the stuff I say in this video as medical advice. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only. So, that being said, let's discuss stuff that we want to know about Trenbolone, the holy grail of bodybuilding, essentially. So, what is TREN? TREN is, and it comes in different types of esters. So, you have your acetate, your TREN-E. Acetate, you're pinning like 3 times a week. E, maybe once or twice a week kind of deal. So, oftentimes, and it's not a beginner steroid, so let's kind of just get that out of the air here. TREN is not a beginner steroid. It's something for an experienced lifter, someone who's well seasoned, has ran testosterone at least, you know, as a foundation to their steroid stack. And you do want to be taking a testosterone base while you're running TREN. So please keep that in mind. It is not something that you want to run alone because TREN does not aromatize, okay? It has extreme androgenic side effects, so keep that in mind. We're talking balding, aggression, anger, all those kinds of things. You're going to experience hair loss, a lot of that, acne. It's extremely sensitive, being the fact that it's selective in nature. It binds to all the receptors. But one of the things that I do want to cover, especially in this video, is explain the psychoactive properties that Trenbolone contains. So it is probably the only steroid, or one of the few steroids in this case, that is a psychoactive compound. It breaks the blood-brain barrier, meaning that it causes you to be delusional. You see things, think things, believe that things are true when they're not. It makes you paranoid, it makes you angry. Now, some of the people down in the comments below are going to beg to differ. They're going to debate. They're going to say that TREN, you know, never gave them any type of side effect where they thought otherwise, and they didn't beat the crap out of somebody or smash a TV and bust a bunch of holes in the wall. One of the things I could say is do not drink alcohol while you're on a Trenbolone cycle. It will eliminate any bit of judgment that you have. So judgment is just out of the window. You're going to get angry at somebody, someone's going to rub you the wrong way, and you're immediately going to want to start throwing hands and getting into a stupid, silly street fight. So I can testify to that Trenbolone definitely triggers a lot of anger, a lot of rage over stupid things. You're easily triggered and you become delusional. Your thought process becomes impaired. So that is something to really be mindful of when you're on it. You know, sometimes someone's just looking at you. They're not looking at you for any other reason besides the fact that you're in the same room as them. but TREN will actually make you think, why is he looking at me? Is there something he's trying to say with the weight? And it starts playing with your head, it starts playing with your emotions. That, you know, I think enough was said in this video about that, but just be mindful that things don't really appear the way they are. And if you're in a relationship, let's discuss that. Whether it's a marriage, whether it's a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the heck floats your little boat there, with all respect, you're gonna get mad, you're gonna get paranoid, your anxiety levels are gonna get tripped. You know, they're gonna go out with their friends and you're gonna think, oh, they're cheating on me, they're cheating on me, they're, you know, getting railed by 5 people. They're not. You know, most of that stuff is inside your head. TREN will start kind of making you go in circles. It'll do that to you, and especially when you get into the higher doses and depending on the length of the cycle, because once this stuff starts building up in your system, obviously it's going to have a greater effect. So when you're doing something like 50 to 100 milligrams a week on top of a nice testosterone base, you know, that, you know, you can't really, how can I say this? You're not going to really experience so much, but the aesthetic effects of TREN are so potent that just with 50 milligrams a week, you're going to be more vascular, you're going to be stronger, you're going to look tighter, you know, and it's going to help you put on some muscle mass. You know, that is why it is such a great competitive anabolic steroid. And another thing too is it helps with the glycemic index as well. So your carbohydrates, where they're typically stored in your bloodstream and inside your fat cells, instead of going to your fat cells, this is going to put it in your muscle tissue, which is another reason why you're going to find that you sweat your ass off when you're on Trenbolone. So if you eat like carbs and then you go on a walk, you're going to notice that you're sweating your face off. And for some people that work like an office job, it's a little bit awkward, especially if they're running a high dosage of Trenbolone, because they're sitting at a desk in an air-conditioned room and they're sweating profusely at this desk in a nice air-conditioned room. It makes absolute no sense to somebody who's just looking at you, but that's one of the big side effects of TREN, is you're going to sweat. Another side effect you can expect as well, and we're going to get into the whole libido thing, because this stuff can make you do some freaky shit. So you're going to sweat a lot in your sleep, you're going to notice all that kind of stuff, but you also will experience night tremors. Okay, so the lucid dreams, and they're very vivid, man. I've had some crazy funky dreams myself when I've been on TREN. I've had dreams of like family members passing away, people I cared about that were brutally executed in front of my face in the middle of my dream, and I woke up literally feeling like it happened. It's pretty intense. So, you know, and again, I know that there's going to be people in the comments that are going to say this doesn't happen to me. You know, I've taken 600 milligrams of Trenbolone a week for 2 months and it did nothing. Again, everybody's different, and, you know, it affects people in different ways, the sensitivity of these things. So, you know, I do have to say that. So you want to go into a TREN cycle with a clear mind. You don't want to be holding any kind of grudges against people or be going through some kind of emotional catastrophe and decide to take it. So, you know, it's a very intense ride. You're going to get a lot stronger, a lot more vascular, leaner. And that's really the beauty of TREN, is that you're going to notice that you're able to get leaner without really making so many changes to your diet. That's really the great thing about this compound, is with making minimal changes to your diet, your caloric intake, and you know, really not changing so much your workout routine. You might increase the volume or the weights that you're using, because obviously you're going to increase a lot of strength and your output is going to go up, but without really changing a whole lot in terms of diet. Especially, you're going to notice that you're going to be getting leaner, and that's really the beauty of it. And that's why it's used a lot in professional bodybuilding for contest prep and all those other kinds of things. So let's talk a little bit about dosage, because I know, you know, I kind of covered a little bit about that, but I'm sure some of the people watching want to know what recommended doses for something like Trenbolone may be. So When you're looking at something like 50 milligrams a week, like I mentioned earlier in this video, you're going to get a little tighter, a little stronger, a little bit more vascular. It's going to give you that juiced out kind of look. It's going to be like the cherry on top. And that's a real respectful, you know, moderate, conservative approach to taking TREN. You're not going to really experience any psychoactive reactions and you're freaking out. Now let's discuss like 100 milligrams a week. All right, now you're looking to get a lot more vascular, a lot stronger. You're going to notice it, especially if you're taking it with testosterone or Anavar or something else like Ostarine. You're going to notice the TREN is in there, man. It's doing its thing. Okay, so now let's discuss 200 milligrams. 200 milligrams, if you've never taken TREN before, you're going to notice like a 15-pound muscle increase, lean muscle tissue. You know, and this depends on the person. It depends on your natural myostatin levels, which I can make a video discussing what myostatin really does for you. So, but depending on the person and their genetics, you know, 5 to 20 pounds is kind of the range you could expect of muscle tissue growth in your first Trenbolone cycle. You know, and obviously it becomes less and less as you keep taking these things and doing cycles. But 5 to 20 pounds depending on genetics, so we'll just say 10 to 15 pounds of muscle tissue growth. You can experience that with like 500 milligrams of testosterone accompanied with 200 milligrams of Trenbolone, which is a pretty nice cycle in my opinion. But then you get people that are doing 400, 300, 600 milligrams of Trenbolone a week, which in my opinion is a little bit too much, man. It's not really a compound that you need a whole lot of to get great results with, because it's just so potent and aggressive. You know, it's really, and that's really why it's grown such a name in the bodybuilding community, because it does everything that you would expect a steroid to do. You know, you have these steroids like Winstrol. Winstrol will dry you out, get you hard and shredded, extremely liver toxic, whether it's injected or oral, because they do have a water-based Winstrol. So when you kind of compare it to the other steroids like D-ball gets you huge, but it's a lot of water weight, it's a sloppy weight, and it's not quality steroid, it's a cheap steroid. And then you have Anavar, gets you hard, will increase muscle mass by maybe 5 pounds or something like that, roughly. Will get you harder and leaner, so you know, it's a step up from D-ball. But then you take Trenbolone, okay? Trenbolone does everything. Increases strength, increases anger, so now you got the stereotype roid rage. It increases lean muscle tissue, burns body fat, gets you shredded, huge, everything. It does everything. So take somebody who's doing just testosterone, like a basic TRT dose, 150 to 200 milligrams of testosterone a week. You're not going to really notice any kind of, you know, insane effects unless you've never done anything before. You know, but if you really want to look like you're a mass monster just with testosterone alone, you need to have a lot of testosterone that you're injecting. We're talking more than 500 megs a week. You know, for a lot of guys, you know, to get a juiced out look from testosterone, it's like a gram a week, you know. And I know I'm going to have people in the comments going insane, but that depends on the person's genetic, you know, look. If they spent years building a nice natural physique and they add 200, 300 milligrams of testosterone, they're going to look phenomenal. They will look like they're on steroids. But from a general point of view, a lot of people just take juice expecting it to be a shortcut. So you really won't get a juiced out look with just testosterone alone. You're going to look like a bigger natural version of yourself. Whereas with TREN, it will make you look juiced out. You will look like a juice head, straight up. So it'll make your vascularity go insane. You're going to get the capped out shoulders. You're going to get all the stuff that you would expect from a textbook definition of what steroids do. You know, what social media considers roided out. TREN will do that for you. So, you know, that being said, we've covered the dosage, we've covered that. Now let's talk about strength increases. Wow, you there's no other way to explain it. You know, when you're underneath a bar, benching, squatting, whatever it may be, you really do feel like you're bending the bar in your hand. It literally feels like you're crushing the bar in your hand with the grip that Trenbolone gives you. So it's not something that's bullshit, you know. It makes you a hell of a lot stronger. And one thing that you have to remember, and for those people that are experienced anabolic users out there, you got to remember that your muscle tissue is going to grow a whole lot faster than your tendons. So like your tendons will not, I used the wrong word, not grow, but your muscles will get stronger from an anabolic steroid, but it will not increase the strength of your tendons, etc. So you could really pop something, you could tear something, just because your muscles are getting stronger at such an alarming rate that you have to keep in mind. Just because you went from benching 225 and now you can almost do 300 or 315 within 1 month, yes, your muscles can withstand that, but your tendons cannot. So please be mindful of that. Tren will make you stronger in such a short amount of time that it will have you attempting these kind of stupid ego lifting sessions. So stay away from that, but you can expect a lot of strength. And that being said, let's also talk about cardiovascular, because Tren is absolute shit for your cholesterol levels. So make sure you guys are doing cardio, make sure you guys are taking fish oil, your CoQ10, making sure your LDL, HDL ratio stays within check. Get your blood work done, please. And just try to monitor all that stuff so you stay healthy if you're gonna attempt to do a roid cycle. What else can I add about the cardio thing? It's terrible for that. If you're an endurance athlete, you're gonna get winded walking up the steps. You know what I'm saying? So Tren is not the anabolic steroid for someone who's an endurance athlete, and especially a tested athlete, you know, but you should know that by now. And I think that kind of wraps up everything here. Oh, wait a minute, where am I going with this? The libido. Let's not end this video without discussing the libido stuff. It makes you think real outside the box when it comes to sexual things. So, you know, you want to be careful with the adult films that you watch, because I'm just saying you can become real desensitized to the things that normal people find extremely satisfying, which will then in return make you go to the dark side of the internet to watch things that you shouldn't watch. And I know I'm gonna get comments from people saying, sounds like you speak from experience, but no, dude, like seriously, go anywhere online and listen to some of these freak stories of people that have taken Tren. Some people out there do some real nasty, wild ass shit while they're on Tren, because, you know, they're stimulating certain parts of the brain that are not naturally stimulated, and they become aroused to certain things that normally wouldn't arouse you, and you kind of have to go to extremes in order to get sexual pleasure. And it's pretty crazy. Like, there's guys out there that cheat on their wives, that have, you know, multiple partners while they're in committed relationships, and these are things that they typically would not have done had they not been on Trenbolone. So it triggers certain parts of the brain that will allow you to do, or not allow you, push you to do certain things that normally you wouldn't have done otherwise. So I can make a whole video following up this one explaining all the you know, libido things that Tren can do to you. So let me know in the comments below if you guys would like that. Again, I'm gonna wrap this video up because I don't want this getting too long, but make sure you check out that link in the description for Vintage Muscle. Check out their anabolic products, you know, real quality pre-hormone stuff that you guys would love. And with that being said, subscribe, like, comment. I'll see you guys in the next one. It's your boy Jersey Flex. Roll that friggin' outro. Boom! No!